Now, as we said earlier, the F-car seating 44 was insufficient seating capacity for the passengers offering, so the department was forced to return, would you believe, to their old steam tram design, the old B-class trailer design of a 70-cent crossbench car. So basically what we ended up with in 1901 was a tram car mechanically the same as this one from there down, but physically from there up we had a crossbench car, the same as the steam trailers. So here we have an example of a 70-seat electric tram car resembling the old steam trailers, so they were back where they started from, having experimented with the saloon-type cars in the early days of the electrics. It didn't take them long to realise that saloons did not seat enough people. You really needed a crossbench design. Now, the N-class cars, there were 96 N-class built, and they were turned out from 1901 onwards. The example that we have here shows you the filled-in front that came after 1908. You'll have a look up there, you'll see the old roof line, and you'll see the little protrusion out the front. This was the piece that was added because this tram was built 728. It was built before 1908, obviously, and therefore originally had an open front. Now, these trams had a solid steel plate frame. You'll notice along here we've got quite a solid frame with timber backing, which made the tram car rather heavy in proportion to the number of seats. Later on, when we look at the O car, we'll see their first improvement on that design. These cars also had very heavy wooden and glass doors, a design which was perpetrated in the O's but finally got rid of, as we'll see later. You'll notice as we've gone round here today, the colour schemes on these cars have varied, and there were 5 colour schemes in use over the years. The first one was a dark maroon and a light straw colour. This is the straw here, and that came out in 1894 and lasted until 1900. And in 1900 we had this colour scheme here, which is basically dark brown or chocolate and a buff colour with a dark green trim. And in 1906 we went to this colour here. Now, this one here is called straw and tan with a very dark maroon frame and trim, and that colour lasted until 1918. And in 1918 we changed to another colour scheme, which is on our K car. We'll be having a look at that next. And then finally the green and cream on our O car, which we'll have a look at after the K. So that explains the 5 different colours that you'll notice on the trams in the display hall. And the reason for the changes were not frivolous. They had a lot to do with the changing conditions of the times, depending upon the road surface, the dust, the type of material involved had an effect on the paint and the floors. So here in this particular example, I think comes out well on the movie. We'll show you the colour that was predominant when we had mud and clay on the streets. It didn't show up on the floor. And then later on we went to a grey, and then as we got tarred roads we ended up with black floors, which was quite an obvious move. All right, now we're going to ask you now to move around and we'll have a look at our little K car.